Hi friends, now I would like to explain testing of hypothesis for single mean. First, I would like to give what are the steps involved in testing of hypothesis. It includes the 5 steps. The first one, we should specify what is H0, what is the H1. These nothing but null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. And we should choose what is the acceptable level of alpha. Sometimes it may be given in the problems, otherwise you should choose, but when you are going to do any practical problem, so that time you should choose the what is the acceptable level of alpha. It is nothing but certain error. You should it should be considerable certain error, like that you should choose what error is the acceptable for your experiment. Now what are the steps? Determine an appropriate sample based test statistics and the rejection region for the specified H0. So that means we should find what is the acceptable region and what is the rejectable region. It is just like, suppose I'll give, this is suppose a sampling distribution and this is the symmetrical line exactly at the peak's value, its maximum value. So suppose this is the acceptable region, randomly I am giving, and this is the rejectable region. It depends on how you are choosing H0 and H1, that's null and alternate hypothesis. In problems I will give complete information how do you calculate this rejection and acceptable region of H0. Collect the sample data and calculate test statistics. So whatever the experiment you are going to do from that population, just collect the data, sample data, and for that sample data you calculate the test statistics, whether it is related to the mean or standard deviation or variance, what you are going to test exactly. So accordingly you do the test statistics. What is the fourth step? Now according to this acceptable and rejection region and what value you are getting, and this obtained value lies in which region, either it is in acceptable or rejection region, accordingly you do the conclusion. So we should make the decision regarding whether the H0 will be the reject or fail to reject. So this is the fourth step. Once we came to the decision, we conclude the result linking to the main problem. So first, whatever the physical situation, that we convert into the statistics in terms of null and alternate hypothesis, and from that we define what is acceptable and rejectable region. We collect the sample data, for that we calculate those parameters or characteristics of the parameters for the population, how accurately you are getting related to the population. Next we have to make certain decision regarding weight that obtained value, accordingly we should reject or fail to reject the null hypothesis, and once we conclude this we link to our main problem. So these are the main steps. So it is just like we have to choose H0 and H1. This is the summary of the procedure. The standard procedure is assumed to be H0, whether it is true or false, but H0 always should have equality. H0 always should have the equality sign. Using statistical text, we try to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to declare H0 false. So, but what type of statistics you have to use, whether it is a large sample or small sample, which is related to the mean or standard deviation or proportion. So accordingly we do it. Now we reject H0 only when the chance is small that H0 is true. The procedure is based on the probability theory. I mean what distribution you are going to use according to the lot sample, and sampling distribution of mean or sampling distribution of difference between the two means, sampling distribution of proportions, like that. So accordingly we should make some errors. What type of errors? there are two types of errors, type 1 and type 2 errors. According how you are choosing the H0, accordingly you will get two different types of errors. Now let us go for test of hypothesis for single mean. This is related to the large sample. When we say the large sample, the size of the sample is greater than 30, then that we can call it as large sample. If it is less than or equal to 30, that we can call it as small sample. Now observe here X bar, test statistics for the single mean related to the large sample. We have to use, this is the Z is equal to X bar minus mu by sigma by root n. This is standard normal distribution. This is a standard normal distribution where X bar is the mean of sample, mu mean of population, sigma standard deviation of sample, size of the sample n. Now let us go for problem. A pharmaceutical firm claims that the mean time for a drug to take effect is 24 minutes. In a sample of 40 trials, the mean time is 26 minutes with a standard deviation of 4 minutes. Test if the mean time for a drug to be effective is significant. So what is the hypothesis they are claiming? They are claiming that mean time for a drug to be effective is a significant, but this is, observe here, the mean time for a drug to be effective, which is related to the population, where observe here drug to be effective, this is mean of the population, this 26, this is mean of samples, standard deviation, this is sigma. But what is the size of the sample? This is n. Now let us see what is the null hypothesis for this. They are claiming that mean time is 24. So exactly we are taking null hypothesis, exactly mu is equal to 24, and this statement we are converting into statistics based on the null hypothesis. Now H0 mu is equal to 24. This statistical statement agrees the given statement, but what is the opposite of this statement is alternate hypothesis. This is equal to, that's why this is not equal to. Now we have chosen H0 and H1, null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. Let us go for given data. First I am writing the given data as it is, mu X bar sigma n. Now what is the level of significance? It is not mentioned actually what error is the possible considerable. I am assuming this is 5%, or if you want you can choose the 1% also, or 10% or 2%. For problem sake I assume the 5%. I am not doing any experimental. If you are doing experimental, there you will come to know what error is considerable for your project. Now see here level of significance for this, I have chosen the 5%. Next, once we have chosen the level of significance, we should go for critical region. What is the critical region? What type of test you have to use? Since alternate hypothesis, see this critical region depends on what is the alternate hypothesis. The alternate hypothesis says this is not equal to means less than and greater than. So this is a minus Z alpha and this Z alpha, not equal to. Okay. So the shaded regions are rejectable region of H0, and in between these acceptable region of H0. This is, that's why here not equal to, we are going to use the two tail test. That's why here LHS and RHS both. See what is the critical region? So the critical region, it is acceptable region H0 mod Z less than Z alpha, because of here as I have drawn previously here, this is the shaded region, this is the acceptable region, so it is minus Z alpha, this is Z alpha. That's why minus Z alpha to Z alpha. In between suppose Z appears, that should be the acceptable. In shaded region suppose Z appears, that is the rejectable region. But how do you find those? See, for that we are using the shaded region. We know that this is the standard normal distribution and the shaded region is nothing but the probability. Yes, the probability z less than z alpha minus z alpha and z greater than positive z alpha is equal to whatever the error alpha value. And see here, because of the r, we should take the plus in between. We separate that z less than minus z alpha, z greater than z alpha, you will get alpha value. Here we have chosen alpha is 0.05, is right. Now probability of z greater than z alpha, because this negative part and real part, because of this is symmetric and total is off and this completely off, and this whatever the region exactly the right hand side also. So that's why this is the twice of probability z greater than z alpha. Simplifying, you will get 0.025, and for this 1 by 2 minus 0.025, 0.475 you are getting. This is actually area of z alpha. Now from standard normal distribution table, for what value of z alpha its area is 0.475, so that you need to find out. So see here, this is a standard normal distribution table. Here for what we are looking? We are looking for exactly 0.475, right? So where this 0.475? Let us see here where the 0.475. So it is exactly here 0.475 opposite to 1.9, and this is 0.475. Observe here where it is 6, under 6. So 1.96, that's why it is 1.96. And see acceptable region in between minus z alpha and z alpha, that's why modulus z less than z alpha 1.96. So other region, it's nothing but greater than z alpha is the rejectable region of z naught. Now choosing H0, H1 level of significance, critical region, that means acceptable region and rejectable region. These are all determined. Now we are going to find exactly what z value you are going to get for our problem. For that, because of this is the large sample, as I explained previously, we have to use the test statistics. Z is equal to x bar minus mu by sigma by root n. X bar is the 26 in the problem. Similarly, mean of the population, sigma standard deviation, and size of the sample. By calculating this, you will get 3.1623. Observe here, which is not lies between these. So which is behind of the acceptable region of H0, because this is the greater than 1.96, right? So therefore this value should be rejected. H0 is the rejected. If H0 is rejected, actually what is the H0? Mu is equal to 24 we have taken. So mean time is not 24. If it is 24, that should not be the effective. So that is what the conclusion of the problem. So actually they claimed that 24 minutes of mean time for drug is the effective. Here we got to know that 24 minutes of mean time should not be effective for the drug. So maybe it is less than 24 or greater than 24. So that means we retake the samples, again redo all the experiments. Now let us go for the another problem. In a sample of 49 adolescents who served as the subjects in an immunologic study, one variable of interest was the diameter of the skin test reaction to an antigen. The sample mean and standard deviation were 21 and 11 respectively. Can it be concluded from this that the population mean is less than 30? They are claiming the population mean is always less than 30, they are claiming, but we don't know. If we take the sample and for that sample we are going to find the mean, and from that, if that mean is less than 30 if you get, then that is true, otherwise it is not true. So that's why we have to test this hypothesis, and for that this is the level of significance, considerable error. Now what is, we have to choose null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. See why we have chosen here the greater than or equal to, why it is less than here. Why not h naught is a mu less than 30? Because h naught should always have equality sign, even suppose if you take less than or equal to. Actually the given statement claim that only less than. If you take the h naught is less than or equal to, h naught is agreeing the given statement and disagreeing the given statement with equality sign. But that ambiguity should not be there in choosing null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. So that's why exactly whatever the h naught agreeing the statement or alternate hypothesis agreeing the statement, accordingly you choose. And one more thing, you should make sure that h naught null hypothesis is always should have equality sign, that you should take care of it. Now if suppose if you take less than 30 for h naught, there is no equality, so that's why the same less than 30 we will choose as the alternate hypothesis. Opposite to that, greater than or equal to 30 is the null hypothesis. Now how this is 30, mean of the population, mean of the sample, standard deviation, size of the sample. See level of significance 5%, critical region, because this is the less than 30 is right, it related to alternate hypothesis. Critical region, it is a left one tail test. See what are those left one tail test. Left one tail test, accordingly this is the left one tail test. So this is the rejectable region of h naught. Then what is the acceptable region of h naught? Acceptable region of h naught is this. So it is minus z alpha. So z greater than minus z alpha is the acceptable region of h naught, this is, and rejectable region is z less than minus z alpha. You will get minus 1.645. How do you get this? This is the area, right? This is area that you can write it as a p value, the probability. It is the alpha value. It's given 0.025. Now simplifying this, you will get area of z alpha. So for what value of z alpha? You will get 0.45. From standard normal distribution table, you will get 1.645. See, I will show you how do you find. See, observe here, this is the 0.4505 and this is 0.4495. For this 1.6 opposite, and these two under, observe here, this is under 4 and under 5. That's why taking the average of this 4 and 5. So you will get 1.645. That's why it is 1.645. Now negative. Accordingly the rejectable region. Now we are going to find z value exactly for the sample according to the test statistics, because of the sample is 49, greater than 30, large sample, this is the one. So observe here minus 5.7273 we got it. It's a minus z alpha, which is a less than minus z alpha. Less than minus z alpha means here this point, it lies in rejectable region of h naught. So that's why h naught is rejected. H naught is rejected. But actually what is h naught value? So h naught value is mu greater than or equal to 30 is right. This is the rejectable. Then what is the accepted? Mu less than 30 is the acceptable statement. What mu less than 30 indicates? Given population mean is less than 30. Yes, this claim is considerable and it is true, and it is verified by test of hypothesis using standard distribution, Z statistics. So this is how we have to do. So I hope you understand. If you like the video, you subscribe for more videos. Thank you.